The wait is finally over, and fans can hardly contain their excitement. The first trailer for Culpa Nuestra, Our Fault, has arrived, bringing back the powerful on-screen chemistry of Nicole Wallace and Gabriel Guevara. This isn't just another sequel, it's the most anticipated chapter in the Culpa's trilogy, promising more drama, deeper emotions, and shocking twists that will leave viewers breathless. The trailer is packed with clues, hidden emotions, and unforgettable moments that hint at a story even more intense than before. But what secrets does it reveal, and what does it mean for Noah and Nick's future? Let's break it down together. To understand the weight of this trailer, we need to look back at where it all started. My Fault, Culpa Mia, introduced us to Noah and Nick, two characters thrown into a complicated world of family ties and forbidden love. Their relationship wasn't simple, it was passionate, messy, and full of conflicts that tested their limits. Noah, played by Nicole Wallace, brought innocence, resilience, and vulnerability, while Gabriel Guevara's Nick was both magnetic and dangerous, someone you couldn't help but be drawn to despite the chaos he carried with him. The film ended with a storm of emotions, leaving viewers divided between heartbreak and hope. Then came Your Fault, Culpa Tuya, the second chapter that raised the stakes even higher. This installment took the couple's love story into darker and more painful territory. Trust was shattered, betrayal hovered over every moment, and family drama continued to tear them apart. Noah and Nick's bond was tested by jealousy, external pressure, and emotional scars that seemed impossible to heal. Yet even in the middle of pain, there was a pull between them that neither could resist. By the end of the second film, fans were left on the edge, wondering if their love could survive the chaos or if it would break apart under the weight of lies and secrets. Now, Culpa Nuestra, Our Fault, enters as the final act of this emotional journey. The trailer makes it clear this is not a story about young love anymore. It's about survival, about choosing between love and destruction, and about facing the consequences of every choice they've made so far. What we see in just a few minutes of trailer footage tells us that Noah and Nick are not the same people they once were. Their love has grown, but so have the dangers surrounding them. This time, it's not just about passion or romance, it's about whether they can find a future together in a world determined to pull them apart. The trailer's opening moments already set the tone. We see familiar faces, but in darker, more serious settings. There's tension in the air, a weight that wasn't there before. The colors are colder, the music sharper, and every look exchanged between Noah and Nick feels like it's hiding a storm beneath the surface. Amazon Prime has made sure this film feels bigger, more cinematic, and emotionally charged. It's not just the conclusion of their story, it's a test of how much pain and love two people can survive together. For fans who have followed the series since the beginning, this trailer feels like both a promise and a warning. A promise of closure, of seeing Noah and Nick's love story reach its ultimate chapter, but also a warning that it won't be easy. The stakes are higher than ever, and if the past two films taught us anything, it's that nothing in their world comes without sacrifice. Culpa Nuestra is shaping up to be the chapter where passion collides with consequence, and love meets its hardest test. The trailer begins with a striking silence, the kind that instantly makes you lean closer to the screen. A wide shot captures the setting, darker, moodier, almost heavy with unspoken tension. It feels like the calm before the storm, and immediately we know this isn't the playful beginning of young love anymore. Then comes the first glimpse of Noah, played by Nicole Wallace, standing alone, her eyes filled with a mix of determination and sadness. This image sets the tone. She is no longer the girl caught between choices. She's now a woman ready to face the weight of consequences. The next cut throws us back into Nick's world. Gabriel Guevara's presence dominates the screen as he appears in the shadows, his expression unreadable yet filled with intensity. The trailer lingers on his gaze, reminding us that Nick has always been a character torn between love and chaos. His world has grown darker, and the way the camera frames him suggests that his struggles are far from over. Every second he's on screen, you feel the clash between his desire to protect Noah and the dangerous path that follows him. We then get a rapid series of quick cuts, fast cars racing through dimly lit streets, heated arguments and flashes of intimacy between Noah and Nick. These quick glimpses are like puzzle pieces, teasing the audience with just enough to stir curiosity without giving away too much. The trailer cleverly uses these moments to highlight the duality of their relationship, moments of burning passion followed by storms of conflict. You can almost feel the cycle of love and destruction repeating itself, stronger than ever before. One of the most powerful shots shows Noah breaking down in tears, her voice trembling as she says something we can't fully hear, but the raw emotion on her face tells the story. This single frame hints at heartbreak, betrayal, or maybe even a goodbye. It's a reminder that this film isn't afraid to push its characters into emotional territory that feels painfully real. Right after this, we see Nick clenching his fists, a physical reaction that speaks volumes about his inner turmoil. The trailer also introduces new layers of conflict. There are brief glimpses of side characters, family members looking worried, rivals throwing sharp glares, and figures who clearly play a role in complicating Noah and Nick's journey. These shots remind us that their love story doesn't exist in isolation. They're surrounded by a world full of judgment, jealousy, and secrets waiting to be exposed. Every supporting character adds to the pressure cooker of drama that defines the Culpa's universe. The middle of the trailer builds momentum with an emotional high. We see Noah and Nick together, locked in a kiss that feels more desperate than romantic, as if they're holding on to each other for survival rather than pleasure. The intensity in this moment tells us that their love is not about easy happiness, about clinging to each other when the world is ready to tear them apart. The editing makes sure this scene lingers just long, enough to strike the audience right in the heart. Then comes the shift. The trailer's music grows heavier, the cuts faster, and suddenly we're thrown into chaos. A car chase blazes across. The screams echo in the background, and the camera captures an explosion of emotions, fear, anger, and heartbreak all at once. This section of the trailer makes one thing clear. Culpa Nuestra isn't just about romance, it's about survival. Finally, the trailer closes on a haunting shot. Noah and Nick standing face to face, both visibly broken but unable to walk away. No words are spoken, but the silence between them screams louder than anything. It leaves us with the question, will their love be strong enough to survive, or will it collapse under the weight of everything they've endured? The trailer refuses to answer, instead leaving fans desperate for the full film. One of the most striking things about the Culpa Nuestra trailer is how heavily it leans into deeper themes that go beyond just romance. The story no longer feels like a simple tale of forbidden love between two people caught in complicated circumstances. Instead, it's about the cost of choices, the pain of growing up, and the scars that passion can leave behind. The trailer makes it clear that this final chapter will explore not only the intensity of Noah and Nick's love, but also the weight of betrayal, forgiveness, and the dangers that come with loving someone too much. The most powerful theme that stands out is consequence. From the very first moments of the trailer, every frame carries a sense of aftermath, as if every decision made in the past two films is finally catching up to Noah and Nick. Their relationship has always been turbulent, full of stolen kisses, risky choices, and family secrets, but now the tone suggests that they can't simply run from the mess anymore. Love in this chapter feels less like a rebellion and more like a battle for survival. The trailer emphasizes this with moments of conflict, Noah's visible heartbreak, and Nick's constant struggle with anger and regret. The message is clear: passion can be beautiful, but it can also be destructive. Another emotional layer is betrayal and trust. The quick cuts of Noah in tears and Nick reacting with frustration suggest that something has broken between them once. Again, in the past, jealousy and outside interference tore them apart, and now it looks like those cracks are deeper than ever. Trust has always been fragile in their relationship, and the trailer hints at whether it can even be rebuilt. This theme makes the story relatable because it mirrors the struggles many people face when love and loyalty collide with mistakes and secrets. The trailer also highlights maturity and transformation. Noah is no longer the same girl we met in My Fault. Her eyes in the trailer reflect strength, pain, and a hard-earned wisdom. She has been shaped by heartbreak, and the woman we see now is not easily swayed by passion alone. Nick, too, seems different, haunted, worn down, and fighting his own inner demons. Their growth adds a new layer to the narrative. This isn't just a young romance anymore. It's a reflection of how love changes people, sometimes in ways they never expected. A darker theme that runs through the trailer is family and judgment. Throughout the trilogy, Noah and Nick's romance has been overshadowed by family ties and social consequences. The glimpses of side characters in the trailer, parents looking on with disappointment, rivals waiting for their downfall, remind us that love doesn't exist in a vacuum. The couple is constantly under pressure from the people around them, and this outside judgment plays a huge role in shaping their choices. The trailer suggests that family conflicts and hidden truths will once again stand at the center of the storm. Finally, there's the theme of love as both salvation and destruction. The kiss we see in the trailer isn't portrayed as a sweet, romantic gesture. Instead, it looks desperate, almost painful, as if both Noah and Nick are clinging to each other not out of joy, but out of fear of losing everything. This duality, where love is both the only thing keeping them alive and the very thing that might destroy them, creates the emotional tension that fans crave. It's the heartbeat of the trilogy, and the trailer makes it clear that this final chapter will push that theme to its absolute limit. What makes these themes so powerful is how the trailer blends them together. It's not just about one issue, it's about all of them colliding at once. Love, betrayal, family, maturity, and survival all weave into a story that feels bigger and more emotional than anything we've seen so far. Culpa Nuestra doesn't just aim to be a continuation. It positions itself as the emotional climax of a journey that began with a spark of forbidden love and has now turned into a storm of passion, pain, and consequence. What makes Culpa Nuestra, Our Fault, so powerful is not only the drama and action, but also the way it shows how far the characters have come since the beginning. The trailer doesn't just tease big moments. It gives us glimpses of how Noah and Nick have changed, how their journeys have shaped them, and what kind of people they've become after everything they faced. In many ways, this chapter feels less like a continuation and more like a test, one that will determine who they really are when the dust finally settles. Let's start with Noah, played by Nicole Wallace. From the very first film, Noah was introduced as the girl stepping into a world she didn't fully understand, a young woman caught between innocence and rebellion. She was vulnerable but also curious, drawn to Nick even when she knew it meant trouble. Over time, though, Noah has transformed. The trailer shows her with a different kind of energy, calm but strong, fragile but unbreakable. You can see in her eyes that she has grown from the girl who once followed her heart recklessly into someone who now carries the scars of every heartbreak and betrayal. This maturity makes her one of the most fascinating characters in the trilogy. She still loves deeply, but she no longer looks at love as a fairy tale. For Noah, love is now a choice she has to weigh against her own survival and self-respect. Then there's Nick, brought to life by Gabriel Guevara. Nick has always been a character defined by conflict. He is charming yet dangerous, protective yet reckless, someone who carries both the light and the dark within him. In My Fault, he was the magnetic figure Noah couldn't resist, and in Your Fault, he was the man whose flaws nearly destroyed everything. In this trailer, Nick seems more complex than ever. The anger in his expression, the clenched fists, and the way the camera lingers on him suggests that he's still fighting battles within himself. But unlike before, his struggle now feels heavier, almost as if he knows the consequences of his choices can no longer be ignored. Nick's arc appears to be about redemption, whether he can truly rise above his mistakes, or whether his darker instincts will once again ruin everything he loves. What makes their character arcs so gripping is how they reflect each other. Noah and Nick have always been two halves of the same storm, her calm against his chaos, her vulnerability against his strength. Yet in this trailer, the balance has shifted. Noah looks like the anchor, the one holding herself together even when the world is falling apart. Nick, on the other hand, appears to be the one at risk of breaking. This switch in their dynamic adds a whole new layer of tension. Fans have always rooted for them, but now the question isn't just, will they be together? It's, can they even survive each other? The supporting characters also play a role in shaping these arcs. The glimpses of family members and rivals in the trailer remind us that Noah and Nick's choices don't just affect themselves. They are constantly under pressure from forces outside their relationship, and how they respond to these pressures will define who they truly are. Will Noah continue to grow stronger even as people doubt her? Will Nick learn to control his anger when those around him push him toward violence? These questions give the film its emotional weight. At its heart, Culpa Nuestra looks like a story about identity. It's about Noah learning who she is beyond her love for Nick, and Nick learning whether he can be more than the mistakes he's made. Their arcs are about growth, but also about the possibility of collapse. By the end of the story, we might see them rise together as stronger versions of themselves, or we might watch them crumble under the weight of everything that has come before. The trailer doesn't give us answers, but that's exactly what makes it so powerful. It leaves us desperate to see how their journeys end.